Good morning. Welcome. I suppose balance is never something that is the same for anybody. Everybody has a different bandwidth for the amount of stress, change, upheaval. So it's not about you finding what might be perfect for me or anybody else. It's about what feels like in here. So when we think about a world out of balance, we think about somewhere out there. But if there's an out there, there's a me in here or a you in here. So this class is really an opportunity not only to practice physical balance, which is important because as we age, it was interesting, even one of my brothers told my sister that he didn't feel like he had great balance, and I kind of wanted to talk to him, but I just heard that yesterday and I didn't have a lot of time to explore that. He hasn't been a good custodian of his physical body, that is for sure. But having said that, we can all lose our balance, and I think paying attention, being mindful, just slow everything down, check things out before you step. In life, in general, because you don't have to go outside to fall down at home. So today we're going to practice some balance poses, but basically our core and our legs are what we really require. And we've been working on these things, and you can always, revisit the class at any time on my YouTube channel for what you feel might be helpful and beneficial. So let's come on to our backs and warm things up before we get really started. Everybody has a belt, and hopefully if you're practicing at home, you have something, a belt or a strap as well. Okay. So coming onto your backs, bend your legs and place the soles of your feet on the mat. You can take your arms out to the side and then perhaps spread your feet the width of the mat. And you might want to lift your shoulder blades off the floor, tuck them under your heart, tilt your chin towards the center of your chest, and then maybe let's just press the small of our back into the floor for a moment. And notice how this engages your abdominal muscles, which of course are a big part of your core. But a strong back and a strong abdominal center are what really help us stay balanced along with the strength in our legs. And of course, our hips are what are bearing most of the weight. So keeping all of this in mind, inhaling in place, exhale, drop both knees over to the left carefully with awareness and mindfulness. Remember, if the body is resisting and you're feeling any pain, that's your body talking to you and just asking, go easy on me. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. And when you come back to the center, I want you to feel your core engage again. So if you're not feeling it, press the small of your back into the floor. You should feel your lower abs. Inhaling in place. Exhale, drop both knees over to the right. Inhaling, bring your knees back to the center. Exhale in place. Again, press the small of your back. You don't have to press it really hard, but just engage the lower back by pressing it towards the floor. And then exhale, take both knees again over to the left. And you're probably feeling a little stretch through the muscles that you've already begun to fire, those abdominal muscles. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower both knees over to the right. Inhaling, come back to center. And then bring your feet a little bit closer together. Draw your right knee in towards your chest and interlock your fingers 2 inches below. Extend your left leg out in front. You can flex the foot of that straight leg. And we're going to mobilize the ankle joint, pointing the foot of the bent leg. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, rotate, making circles. Super important when we're navigating uneven territory, whether it's sand, earth, rocks, or in this case, snow. Change the direction. And then draw the left knee up, extend the right leg down in front. You might want to flex the foot. When you're flexing the foot, of course, this is activating the muscles of your legs, which are involved in balance. And then mobilizing the ankle on the bent knee side, pointing the foot, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. Back to neutral, rotating, making circles. And change the direction. And then draw the right knee in, both arms out to the side. Have your legs bent at 90-degree angles, so your thigh is 90 degrees to your torso. Press the small of your back into the floor, please. And then keep the lower part of your bottom of your leg perpendicular, 90-degree angle to the upper thigh. Arms are out at the side, shoulder height. Inhaling in place. Exhale, keep both knees together. Go slow to the left. You're using more of your core muscles. If you just let gravity take over, your core doesn't get any attention. It just goes for the ride, like a passenger in a car. So let your core help drive, control the movement. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. And again, go slowly. This will activate your core. Momentum is good for certain things, but not when we're practicing yoga so much. And then exhale and lower both knees with control as slowly as you like over to the other side. This is obviously stretching out the lower back. For those of us with a little bit of back tension, breathe into your lower back. Keep your knees and thighs and feet glued together if you can. Inhaling. Back to the center. And one more time, we're taking both knees over to the left, slowly. Feel your core working, including your oblique muscles. These are also part of maintaining balance. And maybe you went a little further this time or not. Doesn't matter if your knees are touching the ground, but I do hope your knees are touching each other. Inhale, slowly. Feel your core firing. And exhaling, both knees last time, slowly over to the right. Take your time. The slower you go, the more your muscles are engaging. Inhaling, come back to center. Draw your knees again into your chest, using your hands on your shins. Let's just do some gentle rocking from side to side. If you want to take your knees apart, you can, or keep them together, whatever feels good. And then let's make some small circles on our back, getting into our hips, bringing some blood supply to the muscles that are needed for balancing, standing. I mean, we don't really think about it, but we're balancing all the time. Obviously, we were little babies at one point, and balance was a big issue. Now we're big babies, and balance can still be an issue, but not the same type of issue. Place your hands underneath the backs of your thighs if you're okay with rocking up to a seated position, or roll over onto your side if that's better for you. Come on over onto all fours. If you have a knee pad or if you need to, we're just going to do some more warm-ups for the back. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders for cat and cow. Middle finger points forward. If your wrists aren't happy with having your hands flat on the floor, you can come up onto your knuckles, or you can take your hands a little bit further forward so you don't have quite the angle on the wrist. But if you're good with it, your wrists underneath your elbows under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Now activate your fingers by pressing them into the mat. This will take some of the weight out of the wrists if you do have wrist issues, or obviously to avoid them as well. All right, lengthen your spine. So maybe you need to take your knees a little bit further back, but we want a nice long spine in neutral from tailbone right through the crown. On an exhale, round your spine, drop your tail, pull your bellies in, and drop your chin. Let your head hang. On an inhale, curl your toes under and slowly, like a wave, lift the tail, hollow out the lower back and draw your heart center forward and roll your head up, eyes towards your third eye. Exhale, flatten the tops of your feet, round your spine. Really paying attention to what's going on in there. Curl your toes under, hollow out your lower back, lengthening through the upper body, drawing the heart center up into a curve. Flatten the tops of your feet to exhale into cat. And last time, curl your toes under, hollow out your lower back, draw your heart center forward. Eyes can be open or closed, looking up at Ajna. Third eye, and coming into neutral. We're going to thread the needle. So inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, thread under the other arm. And then let's inhale, bring the arm up one more time, sweeping up. And then we will stay in thread the needle for a moment, lowering the right shoulder, the right side of your face. And if you wish, you can tippy-toe the fingers of the left arm straight out in front. Nice little stretch for the lower back once again. Obviously the spine, articulating the vertebra gently. And then draw that left hand back underneath your shoulder and press up to neutral. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, reaching through. And inhale, sweep it up again. Exhale, thread the needle, lowering onto your left shoulder and the left side of your face. And if you wish, tippy-toe the fingers of the right arm straight out in front. And if you tippy-toe them out and you think, nah, I don't like this, bring them back. This is your yoga class. Not inviting you to be lazy or cop out, but I am inviting you to practice awareness, respect, and compassion. And draw that right arm back in, and coming back into neutral, bird dog, balancing. Extend your right arm, extend your left leg. Again, press the fingers of the left hand into the floor. This will engage more of the muscles of the lower arm. Breathe. Please engage your core. So just gently pulling your belly in, drawing your rib cage together. Reach and stretch one more time. Exhale, release. Opposite. Arm and leg stretching out. Remember, your neck is part of your spine. One more breath in to stretch, exhale, and release. Let's take a modified child's pose. Knees can be as wide as the mat. Big toes touch, flatten the tops of your feet. Remember, if bending your knees 90 degrees isn't pleasant for you, puppy pose, keeping your hips somewhere over your knees and releasing your body. But if you're coming into the modified child's pose, you're pressing your hips back towards your heels. You're releasing your torso between your thighs. And if it's available, your forehead is on the mat. If you need added height, fold one forearm over the other and rest your forehead onto your forearms. Breathing into your side and back ribs. And then inhale. If your knees were spread wide apart, bring them underneath your hips. Curl your toes under. And let's take a soft dog by keeping one knee bent, the other one straight. Relax your neck. And let's walk the dog slowly. So feel the stretch in the Achilles tendon, the calf muscles, the back of the knee, and then change. Feeling the stretch in the opposite calf, Achilles tendon, and the back of the knee. And change. So a few weeks ago, we were talking about how yoga can help us with stress, stimulating the immune system. Just a reminder, changing again. Straightening one leg, bending the other, that you have immune cells in the back of your knees. So this nice little stretch. And remember, when we stretch, it creates a vacuum that sucks in more nutrients, more oxygen, more blood. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. And then keep your knees soft. And let your upper body just hang out. Give your head a shake, and then feel your soles of your feet fully rooted and grounded into your mat. Slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time, keeping your chin tucked into your chest. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Inhale, shoulders up to ears. Exhale, and roll them back. Okay, grab your straps. And you're just going to bring it in front. Now, be mindful, anybody who has shoulder issues, you can have whatever length you like, but basically we're just going to take arms up and maybe back or maybe not. So the wider it is, the easier it's going to be. And up and front. Up. It's a little warm in here, right? Okay. We're going to turn that heat down. Okay. While I'm going to go turn the heat down, let's go sideways and keep the length. Keep the length. And back up. And exhale to the other side. I could get Tech Guy to do it, but he might be having a nap. Inhaling up. You know, it's okay, Tech Guy. Oh, he's just, oh yeah. Okay, we've got the heat turned down. Okay. And if you've finished up both sides, that will do. We'll be using the strap a lot more. Come on up to the fronts of your mats for sun salutations. The best workout of all and most complete. So starting at the front of your mats, come right up to the front or you'll run out of runway. And if your socks aren't sticky, please take them off so that you can grip your mats. Okay? Inhale, exhale, hands in prayer. Feet apart, reach up, look up. Lengthen as you expand. And then inhale, stretch your arms up, engaging your thighs. Exhale, fold from your hips, reaching forward, stretching, fingertips to the floor. Please let your head hang. Step your left leg back, drop the knee to the mat. Shoulders are right over your hips, hands onto your front thigh. Inhale, press through your back heel. This is your anchor. Inhale, sweeping up. Fingertips are active. Pressing through that back heel. So this is balancing, of course. Balance requires focus and concentration. Turn your hands forward, bring them onto the mat. Come into your version of plank. Perhaps your knees are on the floor with your feet off the floor, crossed at the ankles. If you're in the full plank, you're pressing all 10 fingers into the mat. You're pressing through your heels. You're reaching through the crown of your head, and your core is engaged. So pull your bellies in if you haven't, and breathe. As I've said many times, if you feel weak in this posture, and barring any injuries or pain, if you practice this posture a couple of times a week, you'll see a big change real fast in your ability to hold this posture, strengthen your bones, increase your cardiovascular health, release your knees, flatten the tops of your feet so your toes are pointing backwards. Take your hips back towards your heels, stretching your arms, releasing the pressure on the wrists, lengthening your spine. So this is a form of axial extension. Leaving your hands where they are. Attempt to lower your forearms and elbows to the floor, keeping them there while you stay low. Bum in air, chest and chin, alighting on your mat as you're able. Slide everything out behind you. If your feet are off the mat, scoot yourself forward. Draw your fingertips back to align with the tops of your shoulders. Allow your forehead to gently rest on the mat. Bring your elbows into your rib cage and press your forearms down towards the floor. Flattening the tops of your feet, roll an invisible alley with your nose, pressing hips and pelvis into the mat, slowly lifting your head, neck, shoulders, and chest off the mat in baby cobra without using your hands, holding your upper body up, using the strength of your lower back, lumbar. Eyes can be open or closed, rolled up towards your third eye. This helps to activate your ability to be intuitive. We all have it. Sometimes we have it, we don't even think about it. But if we want to develop it, this is one way. One more breath in to lift. Maybe a little more. Exhale, lengthen and lower. Curl your toes under. Spread your fingers apart. Press yourself back up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk your feet a couple of inches forward. Bend your knees. Be sure you're pressing all 10 fingers into the mat. Press your sits bones towards the back of the mat, lengthening your spine. Press your heels towards the mat. Doesn't matter if they touch or not. And breathe. Your ears should be aligned with your inner arms. And breathe here. Feel the energy, the flow of energy throughout your entire body. Lift your left leg up. Look at your left hand. Swing that foot as far forward as you can. Other leg forward, and let your upper body hang in Uttanasana. Arms beside your ears, engage your thighs, pulling up on your knees, pull your bellies in towards your spine, sweep the arms in front, reaching up, feet apart for balance, look up, expand as you arc and extend. And then inhale, bring your feet back towards one another, lift out of your waist. Reach forward as you hinge. Please let your heads hang. Bend your knees. Sweep your arms out to the side, reaching up into prayer. Exhale, hands into Anjali Mudra. One more round. Coming up to the fronts of your mats. Inhaling, start at the front of your mats, right up at the front. Inhale, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart, reach up, look up, and extend as you arc, expand. Inhale, bring your feet back together, lift up out of your waist. Hinge from your hips as you stretch and reach forward. Let the crown of your head hang down and step your right leg back. Drop the knee to the mat. Bring your hands onto your left thigh. Focus your gaze. Inhale, come up. Press through that back heel. Keep your upper body straight up and down as opposed to leaning forward. Sweep the arms up. Fingers are engaged. You're pressing through your back heel. Remember, the floor is always a good place to stare if you feel a little wobbly. But know that you're using the little tiny proprioceptor muscles. And then turn your hands forward, spread them apart. Take the other foot back, taking on your best plank position. It could be with your knees down and your ankles crossed. Reaching through the crown of your head, pressing through your heels, pull your bellies in. Feel yourself becoming stronger, holding up our own body weight. We don't need to lift weights. We can hold up our own body weight. You're strengthening your bones perfectly. Release your knees, flatten the tops of your feet, leave your hands where they are, and slowly take your hips back towards your heels, stretching through the arms, the shoulders, the spine, relaxing your neck. Nice compression here for abdominal organs, as well as ascending, transverse, and descending colon to keep us nice and clean. And then releasing your forearms and elbows towards the floor, keeping your upper body very low and your bum very high. Releasing chest and chin onto the mat. Awkward, but enormously beneficial to your spine, your adrenals, and your kidneys. And then slide everything out behind you. If your feet are off the mat, please move forward on your mat and bring your fingertips to the edges of your shoulders. Release your forehead onto the mat, elbows into your side body, and press your forearms down towards the floor. If you're considering the fuller expression of Cobra, you can widen your feet and roll your baby toe into the mat. Roll an invisible alley with your nose to lengthen your neck. Press your hips and pelvis into the mat. On an inhale, without using your hands, we're all coming up into baby cobra. Don't let your shoulders come up and don't let your shoulders wing out. Keep your elbows, wrists, and shoulders in alignment. Then if you wish, pressing up, press the floor away from you. Keep your elbows and your shoulders away from your ears. So most of us need to, if I don't bend my elbows, this is what I look like. If I bend my elbows, my shoulders move away from my ears. Inhaling, exhale, lengthen as you lower. If your feet were separated, bring them back together, curl your toes under. You can come up onto your knees first or just lift your hips. Walk your feet a couple of inches forward. Bend your knees, press your belly onto your thighs. Press your chest towards your knees. Align your ears with your inner arms, pressing all 10 fingers into the mat. Press your heels now towards the floor, straightening your legs without hyperextending. And breathe. So many benefits in downward facing dog. You are strengthening your muscles and your bones. circulating the energy throughout your entire body. Lift your right leg up in the air. Look at your right hand and swing that foot as far forward as possible. Other leg forward. And please let your upper body hang. Let your head hang. And then engage your thighs. Pull your bellies in, arms beside your ears. Sweep the arms in front, reaching up, feet apart for balance. Look up, arc back. Inhale, bring your feet back together. Lift out of your waist. Exhale, forward fold. Let your heads hang. Bend your knees. Sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Hands in prayer to your heart center. Take a little sip of water before we lie down for a moment. Just want to try a wee exercise. Do we have any tightrope walkers in the class? Because I want you to start at the back of your mat. I think you're in protest, on strike? Okay, just try your little heel to toe walk. So you're going to put your one foot in front of the other, but right to your toe. So right heel to toe. Now you might want to put your arms out to the side. Okay? And then you're coming up onto the ball of the back foot. And you're just going to try and do a heel to toe walk towards the top of your mat. And just notice, the narrower the base, the harder it is to balance. But sometimes this is exactly what we have to do. So this is a simple way of working on improving our balance. There's no rush, but heel to toe. And the thing about yoga and balance poses is it's a nice marriage with that sixth step of yoga called dharana, concentration. After dharana, it's meditation, but you can't meditate until you can concentrate. Okay? Lie down. Good work. So just flat out for a moment on your mat. So it's such a simple little exercise, but it's a way that we can help ourselves maintain, keep our balance, both literally and figuratively. So flat out and relaxing just for a moment. The ability of lying down, letting go. If it's comfortable, turn your palms up in the open and receiving position. Breathing through your nose to warm, humidify, purify the air that's entering into your lungs. And if you wish, you can exhale through your mouth or through your nose. But breathing in through your nose is a more direct and healthier manner. It can stop viruses and all kinds of things from entering into the respiratory system by nose breathing. There's little hairs in there, there's mucus in there that traps bacteria, viruses, and dirt. And that will do. If you grab your strap, place it around not your arch, but the ball of your foot. So not the arch of the foot, the ball of the foot. So here's the deal. We could do this with our arms, but what happens is often we lose alignment or we strain. So by using a strap, you can keep your alignment, keep your shoulders on the mat, so the strap is over the ball of your foot, and you're pulling your leg towards you. Clearly, this is firing and stretching the hamstrings. You can keep the other leg either bent or flat on the floor. If it's flat on the floor, it's a little more intense for the stretch. Using both hands, holding the strap, maintaining the integrity, relaxing the neck and head. Now, You've got your strap on your left foot. You're going to put your strap in your left hand and take, and you may want to wrap it around your fist, the strap, so you have a good grip. Gently take that left leg over to the left side, holding onto the strap. Go slow. So using a strap helps us explore and expand while we maintain alignment and perhaps deepen into our poses safely with awareness. So obviously a major stretch here for the inner thigh, the groin area, but you know, last week we practiced hip mobility, so this is something we're continuing with. And then inhale and bring the leg back to center, and then bend that knee. Bring the other bent knee up and place the strap now over the ball of the right foot. The left foot can remain bent, or you can straighten it out, whichever you prefer. And again, keeping your shoulder blades on the mat, perhaps your chin tucked towards the center of your chest, and you're pulling the leg towards you. So it's this nice, safe stretch for the hamstrings. And remember, tight hamstrings can indicate a lower back issue. So using the strap and practicing balance is great for people who do have back issues to practice very safely and mindfully. So you're pulling that right foot towards your head or towards the top of your mat. And now you're going to use your right hand to hold both ends of the strap. So your left arm can just relax. And then keeping the leg as straight as possible, you're slowly lowering the right leg off to the right side. Mostly perpendicular to your body, but depending on the flexibility and tension of the joints, the muscles, the ligaments, and tendons. You may notice one side has a little more flexibility than the other, and this is quite normal. We can always practice a little more on one side to bring it up to speed to match the other, but rarely are we asymmetrical. But breathe into that inner thigh and groin. One more breath here. And bring it back to center. Now, I want you to try to get both feet now into your straps, and we're going to practice happy baby pose. So once again, your straps are going to be over the ball, not the arch of your foot, the ball of your foot. So for those of us who struggle in happy baby, you should have your ankles right now over top of your hips, and then you're going to bend your knees. You're pulling on the straps. Your knees are just outside of your rib cage, and you're keeping your ankles directly over your knees. Now, for some of us, we don't have any problem grabbing our insteps, but sometimes it's just nice to be able to use the strap and maintain a little more openness in your upper body, in your chest, as opposed to rounding that area, keeping your shoulder blades in touch with the mat. And inhale. And then you can release your strap. And again, we're going to come up to a seated posture and practice a couple of seated postures with the strap. So either roll up or onto your side. And then coming into Jana Shirshasana. So I'll do the mirror image. Fold your left foot into your right. Now, if you have any knee pain, use a block or a cushion to hold your knee up, if that's the case. Otherwise, you're attempting to lower that knee right onto the floor. So it'll be your left foot inside your right thigh. Left foot inside right thigh. So flat on the floor. So your foot is right into your thigh. Okay? Sitting up nice and tall. As I said, if you have any knee pain, place something underneath it. Otherwise, you're bringing your heel into your perineum. Once again, the strap goes over the ball of the foot, not the arch, the ball. Great. So not on the arch, the ball of the foot. So just below your toes, yeah, the ball. Okay? And you're keeping that leg straight, and the other foot is right inside. Maybe I turn a little bit sideways here. So as much as possible, that foot is right inside and up against your inner thigh. Not underneath the thigh. You've got it underneath the thigh. Can you bring the foot beside the thigh? Okay, so straighten your leg as much as possible. Inhaling, sitting up nice and tall. Can you feel your sits bones connecting with your mat? Okay, and then inhale to lengthen. And this may be as far as you're going to go because this is some work for your hips right now. Or reaching, lengthening, keep your heart lifted. Try not to round here. So it doesn't matter how far you go because you're going to be getting exactly what you need. Inhale, exhale. You're leading with your hearts gently, gently, gently. So stretching the hamstrings and the calves on the straight leg and working on hip mobility on the other leg. Try to keep your shoulders down. Think about bringing your heart forward. Don't bury your heart. Open it, bringing forward. And then inhale, come back up. Release the strap, gently bring the knee in, extend that leg carefully and slowly, and bang out the back of your knee. Bang it out, you can bang out both knees, should feel good. Pretend you're 5 years old again. Just have fun, God. I can't have enough fun in life. I like having fun. I don't know what some people think about me. Not you guys know me, but first time you meet me, you might think, is that woman all right? Because a lot of people just forgot how to have fun. Okay, so pressing, again, around the ball of the foot. And again, this may be as far as you want to go. And maybe you just want to sit there in Paschimottanasana in staff pose. So you're working on the other foot now. You're bending your right foot. Do you want to have a look at your daughter? What she's doing? That might be helpful. Because I realize looking at me, it's like, huh? What are we doing here? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. I'm kind of loving all the purple in class today. When I was thinking about what I might wear because of all these elections, and I thought, purple seems to be that neutral color that we just want the best for everybody, right? Is that right, Hillary? We want the best for everyone. Yes. So, I feel a little bit of discomfort here in my left knee, so that's why elevating it a bit, and don't push too hard. Just breathe. Inhaling, come back to the center, and gently bring that knee back in, and gently bang out the back of your knee. Now we're going to try Paschimottanasana. Forward fold. So again, your strap. And enjoy this, because it gets harder after this, okay? Okay, make sure you can feel your sits bones. And your shoulders are down, and you're sitting nice and tall. For people who find it even hard to sit up straight now because their backs and their bellies may not be strong enough, again, this really helps us. Maybe I'm going to turn sideways here. So, because if we try to sit up without the strap, you really got to work your core. So The strap is a great, or a belt. You don't have to have a yoga strap. A belt works. So feet are very flexed, inhaling, and exhale. Again, please lead with your heart. So you're folding from the crease in your hips. You're not folding from the lower back. It's always good to keep this alignment of lengthening your spine. Lead with your heart. Don't worry about how far you go over. It doesn't matter. Lengthen, creating space. And using that strap to help. Stretching, I'm sure you're feeling if your feet are really flexed, you're feeling your hamstrings firing, your calves, your Achilles tendons. Inhale, come back up, and release. Okay. Cow head pose, Gomukhasana. Most of us will wish to have something underneath our butts. So take anything, your block, your cushion, whatever you have. You're going to fold and keep your belts handy. So you're going to take your right knee, fold it, left. You're going to try and bring one knee on top of the other. Okay? So maybe again I'll turn sideways. So you're folding one leg under. And your foot should be out to the side, and the other foot's out to the side. So cow head pose, Gomukhasana, your feet represent the horns, but as much as possible, you want to try to align your knees. Now, some people may not need anything underneath their bums, but a lot of people, it's helpful to have something underneath your bum. So you're folding one knee on top of the other, and then now for some people, if you have some knee issues, be very careful, very mindful here. So you're going to drop the strap over your back. And again, I should probably... Okay. We need more cameras. This is a big production. Okay, so some of you obviously can perhaps reach your hands. However, the strap is what we're using to open up the front of the chest. Gomukhasana. Okay, so please take note of which knee is on top and which arm is on top. Right now I have both right and right. Perhaps change it up before you change your legs. And releasing. So now we're going to try the other leg on top, but again, bang out the backs of your knees. Remember which knee was on top. Put that knee underneath. And the thing is, if you're having a lot of pain, that's one thing. Strain is one thing. There's a difference between pain and strain. So now place the opposite leg under. Have that knee come through the center of your body, if possible, and then lifting up, and place the other knee on top. And again, you may notice a difference. You're using something underneath your behind, unless you're comfortable. Your feet are off to the side. Gomukhasana, cow head. So one knee is on top of the other. I know it's like you're trying to go. It's okay, it's kind of good for your brain sometimes to. All right, so again, you're dropping the strap over your back. Doesn't matter which arms start on either. So you can pull down with your lower arm. So one arm is holding the strap up. For those of you struggling to get into this, just hold the strap up. and drop your arm. Just hold the strap up, just one arm. Forget about the other arm for a moment. We have to think about two arms too much. Drop that one arm down with the strap. So you're dropping that arm down with the strap, and then you're just finding the strap with your other arm. And then let's change. So you're just holding the strap with one arm, let it drop, grab it, and then if you pull down with your bottom arm and reach up, and then pull down, you get a really nice stretch for the tricep muscle. Okay, great. That'll be enough of that torture. Now, curl your toes under. Roll back onto the soles of your feet. Keep your knees soft. Please let your head hang. Let your arms hang. Pressing into, and grab your strap because you're going to bring it up with you. And then slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. And the last thing to come up will be your head. All righty. Okay, so holding on to your strap, just for, you know what, you can just put it around your neck for a moment. Focusing your gaze, you're gonna try to balance to start with on your right leg. So I'll do the mirror image, right leg. Just come up onto the ball of the left foot. Focus your gaze on the floor. And then lift your leg off the floor. And maybe you can lift your knee up. So balancing is great. Lower that down. Shake out the standing leg. I wonder how tech guy's doing. I can't see him anymore. Is he having a nap? He likes doing his own thing. Okay, lift your leg up. And you may notice it's easier to balance on one side or the other or not. Focus your gaze, don't look at me. Focus your gaze on something like the floor. Okay, and give your legs a shake out. Now, if you found that super hard, you may just want to try that and do that again. For those of you who want to take it to the next step, we are going to actually make a little loop with your strap. Because you're going to put your foot in the loop. And just start with it on the floor. So make a little loop for your foot. And again, you're going to try to have it on the ball of your foot, but it's on the arch. Don't concern yourself so much. Okay? So again, you're lifting up. Wow. Now you got help. Keep the knee bent. And then can you straighten it? Great. Awesome. That was easy, wasn't it? Don't hold your breath. Let's see what happens on the other side. Okay, so if you're putting your foot in the loop, and again, lifting it up, focus your gaze. Great. So you can see the belt, it helps, as opposed to, I lose the integrity. I start rounding in my back. So that was the whole point of that. Okay, so one more, and then we'll come down to the floor and do one of your favorites. So now, again, put your foot in the strap. And you're going to take the strap kind of over your shoulder. So, you may want to even tighten up on that strap so that you've got a little more room. Dancer pose. So I'll just show you here. Now, for those of you who want, nice hill, for those of you who find the strap just too bizarre, but again, it helps with your alignment. It just helps you get in. So take your time. Please don't judge yourself about how well you do or don't do. It's got nothing to do with anything. Just give it a whirl. So you're bending, you're lifting that arm, and pull. And try the other side. Didn't your mother say you'd have days like this? My mother never did, I don't think. Okay. So, take it behind. If you're out of runway, you need to tighten that strap just a little bit. So it's a very advanced posture if you just even gave it a whirl. Okay, one more. Come on down onto the mats. Then I'm going to let you guys go out and play. Build a snowman. Come on down. So undo your straps now. Good work, everybody. I know this is a bit challenging, but we're living in challenging times, so we want to step up to the plate. We agreed to be here on this planet at this time, believe it or not. Next time you come back, think about it before you book the trip. Okay? So, placing again the ball of the foot, Navasana boat pose. So once again, you're lifting your chest and you're holding your feet. It's easier with your straps. And straighten your leg. Good work, everybody. Nice, nice. Okay. Take a sip of water if you need. If you have something to cover your eyes or you need something, put your socks on. Because now you get to go into Shavasana. And if you need to, before you take your final resting pose, if you want to draw one knee in and take that knee over to the opposite side, just to give yourself one last good stretch through your hip, your lower back, coming back into the center with your right knee. Draw your left knee up and extend your right knee down in front. Take your left knee, twisting, turning over to the other side. So gently, so lovingly, so careful. Inhale, back to center. If you wish, you can do a little rocking from side to side with one hand on each knee. And when you're ready, bring yourself into Shavasana, flat out and relaxing, allowing the benefits of what you have just done to be uploaded and integrated. Eyes are closed. Separate the biting surfaces of the teeth. Relax the jaw. Palms are facing up in the open and receiving position. And let your bodies be soft and heavy. Inhaling through your nose and letting everything go. Inhaling calm and exhale confusion. The more we work towards finding inner balance and peace, the more peace and balance we will not only attract, but like the pebble thrown into the pond, we can achieve an energetic effect moving through this world that, yes, appears to be out of balance. And yet, we all know that the world is seeking balance. It always has, it always will. And it may be a too oft used expression, but we are either part of the solution or we're part of the problem. And I think as yogins, we have the capacity, the ability, and I think the desire to help this world find its balance, find its peace, and just stay with the love of the Creator, of Mother Nature, of whoever, whatever you might believe placed us here in the first place. There was a reason. It wasn't just for us to stay busy and mindless. We all have a job to do. And it's not that hard. It's easier than we think. So if you don't already have your little Buddha smile on, just let the outer corners of your mouth turn up ever so slightly. And inhale the love, the goodness, the grace that surrounds us. And exhale anything less than love. Long, full, deep inhaling and deep exhaling. Inhaling and stretch your arms over behind your heads. Reach and stretch. Point feet far, flex and point, and drop your arms down by your side. Inhale, stretch the arms skybound. Point feet far, flex and point, and again drop the arms down. Take your time to gently roll over onto your sides. Keep that little Buddha smile on your faces. Take your time to press yourself back up into a seated position. And if you wish, join me in chanting Om just once to seal our practice together today. Inhaling in place. Om Shanti, peace, peace, namaste. Thank you, everybody. It's a beautiful day. Hopefully all your basements are tight.